Alright, so today got a treat for everyone. We are going to be doing a 25 Galakrond's Fall. Quick commentary over the key that I did last week, so it was a tyrannical week. Sadly, I'm a bit late on this upload, so my apologies, but should be alright. Now, these are towns that I ran. Regular Convoke plus Berserk. Nothing special. No Rampant Ferocity this time. Nothing special. One thing that you could change is instead of playing Infected Wounds, you can go Taste for Blood. For a bit more single target on these weeks, that wouldn't be too bad. But besides that, everything else is fine. You don't need Dispel. You can go defensively however you wish. Either Protector of the Pack, Matted Fur, or Ascend Vigor, whatever you feel that you need. Now, on to the actual video. So, here we have it. Now, before we start, the comp is a bit more interesting. We have Vengeance Demon Hunter. We have a Holy Priest, I'm pretty sure. A Windwalker Monk and an Arms Warrior. Now, the one peculiarity about this comp is that the Windwalker Monk, it's his key. He is very, very low eye level. He's 475. And you can feel it a bit. He's a bit more squishy than what he should be, but it's not a big deal. There are a bunch of mistakes made during this video, but the key ends up being timed, so I think it's pretty good key to show off that even if you make mistakes, you're still able to make it work. Now, starting off, what we plan to do is we plan on stealthing all the way to the pack before the boss. We pull that pack, kill it, and then go kill the boss. Now, first mishap of the dungeon, the monk stands a bit too close to the ads. He walks a bit too close, aggroes, dies, and he's gonna come in afterwards, and he's gonna die again, and we're gonna battle res him, or not battle res him, just regular res, and we go on from there. Now, with this upcoming trash pack, not too difficult. Just make sure you get out of the Ripper AoEs and you kick the Chrono Weaver. That's all you need to do. Very simple pack. I don't waste time. Pop all my cooldowns. Just go to town. I probably should not have used Potion, but I decided to. And that's all it is. I also get PI. I'm very happy that I get PI this dungeon. Not the entire dungeon. You'll see why after. But overall, it goes well. This first pack easy. Now, onto the boss. Nice first boss. First, with these small circles, you just want to go to the edge of the room. They're going to leave behind an AoE, and you want to make sure not to stand at the AoE, and you want to make sure not to trap people in the AoE, and just basically keep it to the side of the room. Don't waste too much time trying to run. Try not to put it in the middle of the room like this, at least not at the beginning. Afterwards, you will need to, but at the beginning, you don't really have a reason to do so. Now, afterwards, the only other mechanic is really this big circle, so he's going to cast on two people. He's going to jump to one of them. He's going to pulse a bunch of AoE around him. See, these balls don't get hit by them. They will push you back. They will do a decent amount of damage, and then you just want to make sure to soak. At least one person in the group needs to soak this little circle over here. Once that's soaked, that's all you really need to do. Now, priest dies. Quick B-res. Nothing happened. We're fine. Now, going on to the next boss, we get to have a lot of fun with this pack. This pack and this entire area isn't too bad on Tyrannical. On Fortified, though, it becomes more of an issue. So the big time dudes, the cast a volley that needs to be kicked, or you will probably wipe. And they also cast these big circles here. I think it's Chrono Burst. So again, on Tyrannical, it's not too big of a deal. You just need to walk out with it. Make sure you don't clip anyone. You're going to get dispelled by your healer, or you won't get dispelled at all. In which case, you can just run out, pop a defensive, and make sure you don't clip anyone. Try to live. On Fortified, for me at least, on a 25 Fortified key, it will take me from 100 to around 10%, a bit less than 10% if I'm in cat form. So that's without Survival Instincts, without Bark Skin, without anything. If you're anything less than 100%, pop Bark Skin plus Bear form, Survival Instinct, stay cat form, or just go bear form and start praying. But these things start to do a lot of damage, so just be wary of that. Now, for the moment they cast, you just want to kick them whenever you can, just stun them or do whatever you can. Really, you have Incap Roar, use it. You have Typhoon, use it. You have your single target stun. You have Mighty Bash, use it. Just make sure they're kicked. And same thing with the leeches. Now, these anomalies, they're not too big of a deal. The only thing is that they cast a dot called Bloom on one person. I'm pretty sure that's what happened to our little monk friend here. Or maybe not. Typically it should show up, but It is a heavier dot, and it's one of the 2 dots that get cast. So it's the bloom and it's this regular dot. They can both be dispelled by the healer, I'm pretty sure. And if not, then you just want to make sure to use Bark Skin, use Renewal, use a health potion, just make sure you can live them. This shouldn't be the worst thing ever. This is where Protector of the Pack might come in a bit handy, because it ticks you down, you can tick back up a bit, not too bad. Continuing along this pack, the rest of this is basically the same thing. Nothing special, nothing changes. Stand out of the frontal from the anomaly, and you're good to go. Now, this next boss, very fun boss. If you're melee, if you're range, I absolutely despise it. Now, we have 2 different mechanics that we need to worry about. A, we have the balls, and B, we have the dispel. So for the balls, which is the first thing that's going to happen, fragments of time, what happens is the boss starts casting balls around him that just go like this. If they're in the dark pizza slice, they go slow. If they're in the light pizza slice, they go fast. Now what you want to do is make sure that you don't get hit by them. As it works for you. Now we just saw the second phase go through, which is about to happen again right here. Chrono faded. So what happens is that is going to put a debuff on 2 players. And what needs to be done is that both of the people with the debuff, they want to go to the light pizza slice and make sure that they get dispelled or the buff runs out in the light pizza slice. If you don't do that, you will probably wipe the group. Now there's a little trick to it. If you're the person with the debuff, what you want to do is you want to go to the light pizza slice and you want to stop moving. If you know that you're going to get dispelled first, stop moving as soon as you get there, as long as you continue staying in the light pizza slice. And if you're not getting dispelled, but it's about to run out on you soon, same thing, move ahead a bit, careful that it doesn't change pizza slices. And you just want to make sure that you just stop moving so you do not take extra damage. You will take additional damage if you move, but that is not necessary. You don't need to do that. Just don't move, you're going to take a lot less damage. Now, sadly, what happens here is that the priest spells himself, and which kills the monk, and as soon as the monk dies, he also had a debuff, and we just got 2 casts, immediate casts of the AoE, which kills me. I wasn't expecting it. I could have used Survival Instincts, I had health potion, I could have lived that easily, I had renewal. Entirely my fault. Now the issue is here, we don't have a priest, I'm sorry, we don't have a B-res, we don't really have anything. So the arms warrior and the tank and the healer, they just ended up 3-manning this boss from 46% all the way down to 0. It's about 4 minutes. But they end up doing it, it works out well. And then we're off to the next part. So, if you die here, typically you don't really need to release, especially if you're going to be skipping the dragon, because what you do is you come along this way, and as soon as you land here, oh right, okay. What you can do is you can either skip the dragon by going right, which you do a countdown. As soon as you come into this platform, everybody stacks on the right side of the platform on the count of 3, on the count of 5, or whatever. You all one of my first mistakes, and that is I do not send my cooldowns here. And I'm thinking that we might need them for the next pack. In hindsight, I definitely would have just sent it here just to have this thing dead quicker. We don't really need the extra damage. We have an Arms Warrior, we have a Windwalker Monk. They both do great AoE. They don't necessarily need me for the next pull, but I decided to play for the overall, I guess, and just not do it. So coming to these dragons, do not stand in their frontals. It's not really frontal, they just pick a place, they shoot at it, and you just don't want to be there. Besides that, you maybe want to see with your healer if you have to alternate defensives. Now, going into this, we only pull 1 dragon, so even more of a mistake on my end. I absolutely should have sent the first time. On the bigger dragon, I definitely should have sent cooldowns because we don't really need to right now. Now, as soon as we pull 2 dragons, you want to start alternating Bark Skin, Regrowth, your heals, SI, Renewal, Health Potion. You just want to live. Same thing here, nothing changes, just pulling another dragon. Killing the little dudes. Now what you can do is you can dispel the little dot, the little buff that's on the dragon. It only hurts the tank, but it's good to dispel and it's just good practice. We're just gonna continue along, kill everything's fine. And we come to this boss. This boss is fun. I enjoy this boss as melee. I do not like it as ranged. That's pretty common for me. But so just go regular opener. Everything's fine. Now, there is something that you can do as a Night Elf and as a Druid. As a Druid, if you're on Incarn, or as a Night Elf in general, the boss has a chance to cast Corrosion on you. So, what Corrosion does is it puts a ball on you that you need to walk over the tank with. And once you do that, he can make it go away, and it gets dispelled by standing in the dragon's AoE frontal. Now, this one right here. So as you can see, the tank has the ball, he has the corruption, and he's about to stay inside of the frontal, inside of the breath, and he lives. The ball goes away, everyone's happy. Now, if this targets you, and you're a Night Elf, or a Mage with Invis, or a Hunter with Feign Death, I'm pretty sure it works with that as well. Maybe Priest, potentially, I'm not sure. But if one of those conditions is true, you can, as soon as the cast goes on, you can see it going on you. You can Shadowmeld and it nullifies the entire mechanic. It will just not cast for that time. It'll just skip to the next time. So you see, as you saw there, it went on me. It glows a tiny bit green. He targeted, Shadowmeld, and he just stops doing it. And that's just less hassle to be had. Now, a big issue with corruption, especially in hierarchies and unorganized pugs, is that it does a lot of damage once it goes on you. So as soon as you get it, you're going to take a chunk of damage. If you pass it to someone else, they're going to take a chunk of damage. Now, if you have a lot of melee and people are just running randomly, you can just start ping-ponging that ball back and forth and you will die because you will just take so much damage from it and you're not going to be able to live. Now, as you saw here, Necrofrost went on me. I don't really need to do anything since I'm a Druid. Typically what you do is you just swap to it, kill it as much as you could, as fast as you can, get the person out so that the breath is not going to you from one of the dragons. This incinerating blight thing. Now, since you're a Druid, you can just swap out of it. You can just nullify the mechanic entirely. And you don't really need to do anything. Now, that's about it for this boss. Nothing special to do, so see, it goes on the warrior right now. He gets hit twice, but luckily he is able to live. Now, continuing on. We die. Everyone dies, because of course we do. What happened? I forget. Necrofrost, Arms Warrior almost dies. The breath. No, not the breath. Let's see. I think it's just damage going through. Not just, corrosion. Right. This was potentially my fault. And by mistakenly, I don't think I saw him. I ran over him. He took corruption. Now, the priest took it, which is not great. Priest dies. The warrior takes again, and he gets Necrofrost. He dies. And then finally, I just die. So luckily, the boss is low enough where the tank can just solo it. It's not a problem. Everything's fine. Now, if you skip the entire beginning of the dungeon like we did, you are going to have to make up for the percent here at the end. It's not... Everything's fine. Now, here, it's not too difficult. Same thing. You're going to have time rippers, you're going to have creations, and time slicers. Time slicers don't matter. Creations, kick the stone bolt. That thing will kill you. And rippers, just make sure you stay out of it. Just do not go near the rippers. When they do the little spinny spin, you don't need to deal with it. Not your problem. Now, we're just able to kill this slowly but surely. Everything's fine. Timer's ticking. We're a bit stressed. We don't know if we have time to kill because the last boss, especially on Tyrannical, it gets to be a bit long. 5 minutes, 6 minutes sometimes. Depending on damage, depending on cooldowns, everything of the sort. Now, here, I had... Oh, where was it? We killed this pack. And going into this next pack, both the creations are in the back. I can see that they're both casting on me. I start praying. And they go through. I'm able to bear form, bark skin, live it. And now I just need to heal through the dot, which is not the biggest deal. That's good. That's done. Let's see a fear from the priest. Dumbo goes through on priest. Another one goes through. He lives. He's fighting with the dot, but it's making it work. And we're just going to continue this all the way up until the last boss. Now, what you want to do when he gets to the last boss, he takes 30 seconds to activate. And as soon as he activates and he jumps down, he will knock everyone back. So just be careful. If you decide to skip this with Shroud or with Potion, be careful not to stand near this entrance right here, because you will just get knocked back into the ads and it's going to be very sad for you. Now, on this fight, Chroma needs to stay alive. That's a healer's problem. For us, all we need is full send cooldowns, full send everything. Now, Extinction Blast. This is good. This is very good. First of all, if you're running Incarn, or Shadowmeld, or Invis on Mage, or Feign Death, you can Shadowmeld this. And what happens is that, again, the mechanic gets completely nullified. You still get the haste from it, and you're a happy camper because you didn't take damage, your group didn't take damage, everything's good, everything's being chilling. We're fine. Now, here we have the 50% haste increase on us, and here, the shield. Now, the first shield shouldn't be too big of an issue. People might still have cooldowns rolling. It depends. It's not the worst thing ever. Now, later on in the fight, there should be a time where our Convoke and our Berserk windows line up exactly with the shield, and you should probably, especially in hierarchies, you want to coordinate if somebody's going to use cooldown on a shield or not. That's why I have my Omni CD, tracking DPS cooldowns on everyone. So here, I literally say it in chat, I'm popping cooldowns next shield, just so they know, because I can see shield's in 19 seconds, Incarn's coming up soon. I'm sorry, Convoke's coming up soon, so I just need to worry about that. I'm like, I'll do it. Warrior pops his cooldowns, not stopping him, so does the Monk. So this shield gets pretty annihilated. And the entire point of this boss is that you need to wait until the boss hits 90%. And as soon as he hits 90%, then you're able to go into the last phase, the last damage phase, and kill him. Now, before that happens, you'll have these ads spawning. Just move to one side, kick them, kill them with the boss, leave them down. Not a problem. Also, a side note, whenever you see this mechanic over here, the barrage, you're going to want to pop a defensive. Now, luckily, we had darkness for this one. I had Barkskin just in case. Probably didn't need to use Barkskin there, but it ended up working out okay. Now, 91% after this Earth Surge is when we're going to be getting the final phase. Now, I say I have cooldowns here up in 30 seconds. Berserk is up now. I'm going to wait on Berserk. I'm not going to use it. And as you can see here, I'm not even using Feral Frenzy. I'm waiting for on absolutely everything because I know that as soon as the boss hits that threshold, it's going to go in. Now, here's the threshold. I have my buffs up. Dire Fixation, Tiger's Fury, Blood Talons, even an Apex proc. So it's going to be Ashes, Feral Frenzy. Sorry, Ashes, Berserk, Feral Frenzy, Convoke. And we pray. And it's tight. There are a lot of mistakes done, but it ended up working out. It ended up working out really nicely, actually. And this is how it went. And frankly, it was a decent dungeon. It was just a bit funny at the beginning, and due to the second boss, absolutely annihilating us. But as you can see, even with a lot of mistakes... Oh, I think my mic just cut out. But even with a lot of mistakes, you can still time the key. Everything goes well. So thank you guys for watching, and see you guys around.